Namaskar. Good evening, dear devotees and friends. Today is Wednesday evening, and we will be reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the Panchama Veda. As usual, we will start with this sloka. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabhi bhiliritam kalmashapaham Stravana Mangalam Srimadatam Bhubi Grinanti E Bhurida Janaha. And today we'll be reading the 36th chapter heading the Master's birthday. The date Sunday, February 22nd, 1885. So, this is Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's birthday they are going to celebrate. But before that, as we were reading that Master Masha is mentioning over here, let us complete this page. He is telling that Kedar, a government official, who was in Calcutta, now he was posted in Dhaka. Dhaka, the present day Bengal, the capital of the Bengal. In those days, in the British time, all were in India. The Bangladesh and the Burma, all these parts were in India. So, from Dhaka, it's from Calcutta, he was posted to Dhaka. He was a devotee. So, what he did, and this is the uniqueness, and by this way only, the Sri Ramakrishna movement, Sri Ramakrishna ideology spreaded. The one person, wherever he is going, he is carrying this ideology and then collecting some other people, the similar minded people, same minded people, they will be coming and they will be discussing about this. In those days, there was no book. The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna was not published. There was no biography of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. So, obviously, that particular devotee, from his own memory, sometimes reading the Bhagavad Gita and whatever he heard from Sri Ramakrishna, he used to share. As because he was a big officer, so he was having some educated friends, some other their relatives, and some neighbors. They used to come, they gather in the Dhaka, and they used to discuss about this spirituality. That was all right. But you know, in India, it is the system that whenever you are going to listen to some holy talks or visiting some holy people or anyone discussing about the religion, they will never go empty handed. They will carry something as a gift for him or her. So, visiting holy person that way, naturally it was not necessary for the people to bring anything for him. But even then, as per the tradition, I am going to listen to some holy discussion, so I should carry something. So, they used to bring fruits and sweets and all those offerings. Now, there is a beautiful conversation that took between the Kedar and Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. The Kedar is asking to Master humbly, should I eat those offerings? The Master is telling, it won't injure you if the offerings are given out of love for God. Out of love for God. But they are harmful if they are given with any selfish motive. So, that is also the Ramanujacharya, he has also said in that way, the sparsha dosha, jati dosha, etc., etc. So, that is some idea. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, most of the people, they offer food to God with some prayer. So, if you please accept these fruits and these sweets, and please bless my child who is suffering in this or that, these are the things are very risky if we are accepting. If they are offering to God with love, that is pure. But so someone is dead, in the memory of that person, they are cooking some food and giving and praying to the God, whatever he or she has done, please forgive. Like that, like that. Those who will accept those food will have to share. That is the idea. Some people may believe or not believe. That is the idea. When, if you are accepting that offering, you have to share those things. Now, how we will understand? As a sannyasi, we are all the time receiving, and we are surviving on that, the donation and charity. So we don't earn ourselves. We don't have any business, no service, no salary. How we will survive? Obviously, the devotees, they are bringing the food, they are bringing the gift, all the clothings, everything they give. Shall we accept it or not? So this is the question. Now, Sri Ramakrishna, when the Kedar told, can I eat those offering? Sri Ramakrishna told, reply, that if they are pure, they are offering to God with love, no problem. But with some selfish attitude, selfish motive, then of course you should be careful. Kedar is a very intelligent man. How he is replying? I have explained everything to the devotees, and now I feel relieved. I have told them that he who has given me his blessings knows all. He means Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Who has given me blessings, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He knows all. So whatever you are bringing, I am offering to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was in life. He was leaving that time. Even then people started worshipping him as the God. So Sri Ramakrishna once told Ma Sharadamani Devi, when people will be worshipping me, and when you will find that I am accepting food to each and every one, from each and every one, I am going to close my divine play. That means he will go away from this, he will die like that. So it is 1885 that we are reading, 1886 he passed away. Now, one thing, Sri Ramakrishna smiled when he said, Sri Ramakrishna smiling, that is true. You see, people of all sorts come here, so they find here different things. For the God, it is obvious. So what we do, the same question we asked to one of the presidents of the order, the 10th president of the Ramakrishna Modern Mission, and one of our brahmachari, he asked Swamiji, if people are giving us something, other food and all these things, if we accept that, so naturally we are accepting their responsibilities, also sharing. Is that good? Then Sri Ramakrishna answered, offer it to, Swami Vivekananda Ji Maharaj answered, offer it to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Then be free. Here we find the Kedar is also doing the same thing. If anything anyone is giving, either mentally or physically, just offer it to God and say, I don't know, I have offered it to God, and naturally it is all pure, now I can eat. So this Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. I don't need to know different things Kedar is telling. So many people are coming over here to different type of. The same thing happened when Ma Sharadamani Devi, she used to carry the food for Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Almost all of you know, those who are the students of the life of Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharada. This is a very famous incident that happened. And that disclosed the characteristic of Ma Sharadamani Devi. Sri Ramakrishna, he used to eat from the hand of very chosen people, those who are very pure in body and mind, from their hand only. Otherwise, it was difficult for him. So, Ma used to carry the food. Then one day when she was carrying, suddenly one lady came, almost snatched the food from her, the plate from her, and said, "Ma, give it to me. I like to offer it to the Sri Ramakrishna." So she took it and went to inside and gave it to him and left. Sri Ramakrishna could not touch that food, could not pick up that food or forget about eating. Mother was there, Ma Sharadamani Devi, and she was fanning him. Then that was Sri Ramakrishna told, "You know that I cannot eat from anyone and everyone. So obviously, knowing this, why you have given this plate to her? And she was not of good character. Now today I won't be able to eat." Mother was going on fanning and insisting, "Today you please eat." Then she said two things, two statements. "If anyone call me as mother and ask me for anything, I won't be able to say no to him or her." This is a great blessings. Anyone just calling her the mother. As the child, the child is coming to the mother asking for something the same way. And second thing she told, do you only belong to me? You are God, you belong to each and every one. This shows the wonderful characteristics and the spirituality of Ma Sharadamani Devi. Usually people, they always try to grab, try to hold. Anyone, anywhere in the ashrama you will find anyone doing something, slowly you will be holding everything and will not allow others to enter, to do anything, because they think that they will lose their importance. That means anything that you are trying to hold, that is your samsari manavritti. For everything is temporary, things are going to change, that why you are trying to hold it? And moreover, when the God is there, when people are coming to God, who am I to say no to them? So that was not there, and that is the reason Ma Sharadamani Devi, without hesitations, though Sri Ramakrishna was her husband, she could say, "Okay, I will take care of everything about you and all this. I won't allow anybody to touch your food. I only will bring." But no, anyone can come and anyone can offer you food. I am just one of them. I am also a humble devotee like them. So this is the beauty of the mothers. So that is called the spirituality. And here the Kedar explained like that. I don't need to know different things. Kedar is telling that I only want to know that there is only one God, and all the different things I don't want to know at all. Master smiling. Why not? One should know a little of everything. If a man starts a grocery shop, he keeps all kinds of articles there, including a little lentil and turmeric also. Master is telling like that. So you should know of different things of the philosophy, but Kedar is very dedicated. At the same time, with this statement, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is teaching the one should not be closed mind. That is also a dangerous thing in the spirituality. The people start thinking whatever God or goddess I have accepted, that is the only God and goddess, and I don't believe in any other gods or goddesses. That is dangerous attitude. If they say there may be other gods and goddesses, of course, and whatever the path the other people are following and leading over there, I don't have any objection, but I like this particular aspect of God or goddess, and I like to follow this path, no problem. So that is the thing, though that narrowness should not be there. whatever I have accepted, whatever I have understood, that is the only path, that is the only God or Goddess. Now that is dangerous. And in that attitude, one cannot develop the spirituality within oneself, and at the same time, they harm the whole atmosphere of the spirituality. So, Sri Ramakrishna is never accepting this. Sri Ramakrishna is telling different paths are there. And God liked that. God has created that. Different religions, different people, different things. God like it. Who am I to say that God only wants this color, God only wants this food, God only is in this form? Who am I? It's a blasphemy. It's going against God. We should understand it. Those who are telling it, they are telling it from their ignorance and from their ego. Sri Ramakrishna never mentioned that. So this gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, that is the parliament of religion. In his own life, in his own teaching, he is telling it is good that you like me, but at the same time, you should also have the respect about others. You should also know that. Sri Ramakrishna left the room, and then afterwards, a devotee said, "Can one know God's attributes through the intellect?" What are the God's attribute? The guna. In Sanskrit they say it's guna. These are all attributes. He is all pervading, he is all powerful, he is all merciful, like that. All these attributes, all these gunas, the qualities. Is it possible to understand through intellect? Sri Ramakrishna, certainly not by this ordinary intellect. Why is telling this certainly not by this ordinary intellect? Buddhi. The buddhi, the intellect, that when it is all jumbled up, mixed up with so many worldly ideas, so many worldly things, it is very difficult to concentrate, to understand the God. That's why he is telling like that. It should be completely purified. Ordinary intellect, he said. And how to purify it? By taking the holy name of God, by knowing about God, by pondering about God or meditating on God. By that way, slowly, the mind becomes completely detached from the worldly things. So what is divinity? Anything which is not worldly is divinity. Now, on this statement, anything, is there any other thing except God which is not temporary? No. Everything is temporary. Everything is changing. So that means it is only God. That's why the Vedanta, they say, of course they don't say God, they say Atman, they say that Brahman, Atman, Paramatman, these are the terminology of the yogis. Brahman, that is the terminology of the jnanis. Bhagavan, Ishvara is the terminology of the devotees. So constantly the three paths, the Hindus they follow, so many different ways, constantly they are going on telling, sometimes we are confused. They are very eager to know about the religion and studying, small group, they are studying and trying to understand and trying to talk to the Swamis to get it clear, explanation like that. So they were asking, what is this mukti from the point of view of the duality, from the point of view of the non-duality, or how the creation came, who is Brahma and who is Hiranyagarbha. So I was wondering, so they are very much interested nowadays, and slowly these knowledges are coming and cleaning all this thought about spirituality, thought about religion. It's a very clean idea, clear idea. So Sri Ramakrishna, when he asked, certainly not by ordinary intellect. So suppose a very intelligent some scientist, will he be able to understand? No. Because the worldly thoughts are there in my mind. So when there is worldly thoughts are there in the mind, I cannot. So rishis, they used to go inside the jungle, avoiding any company, all alone they will be there. Why? To completely free their mind from the worldly thoughts. When the worldly thoughts are there, it is very difficult. But now what we should do? We cannot go like the rishis. We are in the society, we have to work. Then we can take the holy name of God. And when we are going on taking the name of God, it is automatically purifying our mind. And though right this moment we cannot understand, but slowly, slowly it will purify, and a time will come, we will be disgusted with all these worldly things and thoughts. So, and the mind will go back to its original state. So that is what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling. Can one know God so easily? Now Ramakrishna is telling. One must practice sadhana. What is the sadhana? Yama, niyama, these two we have to practice. And in this, yama, niyama means the shaucha, shantosha, ahimsa, all these things we have to practice. Then only slowly we will be able to purify our mind. One must also adopt a particular attitude towards God. For instance, the attitude of a servant towards his master. The rishis of the old had the attitude of shanta. Do you know the attitude of the jnanis? It is to meditate on one's own self. Now, in these 3 lines, Ramakrishna is mentioning attitude towards the God. What the jnani they do? They don't think about God, they think about the self. They think about the Atman. They go on that their meditation means they are concentrating their mind to understand, who am I? That much. And constantly they are judging the mind. I am not the body, that is for sure. I am not these bones and all this blood, and it is not possible that I am that, because it is all afterwards it will rotten, it will go away. So who am I then? Then they will be discussing about the avasthatraya, shakshi, etc., etc. That is the way they do, the jnanis. What the rishis' attitude? The attitude, that means they will be taking that stand. What is the rishis' attitude? Shanta. What is the shanta attitude? They are not disturbed with anything. Now this pandemic is going on, people are dying, people are thinking what I should do, what I should not do, and sometimes they are going on purchasing so much of this sanitary things and all that, and stocking, thinking that it will be necessary, afterwards it is so difficult. So this is the way that people always think, that I should only survive. Whether the other people, how they survived, it is up to them. I am going to survive only, and my kith and kin, my family. So this selfish attitude that they take, they always. So why they are thinking that we can live forever? No one can live forever. It is not possible. So obviously, that truth when we know, and things are constantly changing, understanding that, well, what to do as best as possible, we will try. There's best scientists, best minds, they are bringing out the medicine and the other things. Whatever they say, we'll try to do. And then whatever happens, happen. What to do? Why should I be so much afraid and so much crying and so much blaming? So what is that? So this is the way the rishis, always quiet and calm, they are not at all disturbed for anything. That is called the rishi attitude. Now here the shanta, the attitude of the jnanis. But then he said about the servant. He wants to serve the guru, he wants to serve the God. in his mind it is there. Their attitude is like that. So the normal thing, they will go and they will serve, and they feel joy in that when they are serving, and they are purified by that way. Now Sri Ramakrishna, this is a unique thing that we can notice over here. Sri Ramakrishna smiling. You have to a devotee, he is answering that is to a devotee with a smile, what is your attitude? This devotee is our Master Mahashaya, who is the recorder of this Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the conversation. What is your attitude? The devotee gave no answer. He was confused perhaps, and he knew the Sri Ramakrishna knows, so he was quiet. Master smiling. You have two attitudes. You meditate on your own self. Those who are reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna in the beginning, you will find Master Mahashaya is raising question, is it possible, can one be the dualist at the same time, non-dualist, etc., etc. Bichara is there. When the Sri Ramakrishna is asking, he said, Jnani attitude, what do you like? The Jnani attitude, the path of knowledge, I like it. So that the Sri Ramakrishna is telling, you have two attitudes. That one is, you meditate on your own self, that means the Jnani, and also cherish towards God the attitude of a servant. Cherish towards God is a duality. The first one, Jnani attitude, non-duality. And when towards God, it is the duality, and it is a servant attitude. Master Mahashaya is very humble, and every time he wanted to serve Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Am I not right? He is asking. The devotee hesitating and smiling. Yes, sir. The Master Mahashaya, he knew the Sri Ramakrishna will know. Then Sri Ramakrishna, like a child, he is very happy. He is telling, you see, Hazra says, I can read people's thoughts. Hazra said, there was another person who was there, as if Sri Ramakrishna himself didn't know anything. The Hazra gave him that certificate. You can read people's thoughts. One can maintain those two attitudes only at a very advanced stage. Now we will know about the Master Mahashaya. Why Sri Ramakrishna is to like him so much? Whatever Sri Ramakrishna said, he followed. When one day the Master Mahashaya, he was the poor teacher. In those days there was no much salary for the teachers. And he wanted to give some money for the service of Ma Sharadamani Devi or Sri Ramakrishna or poor people. He wanted to do that. So he took the permission from Sri Ramakrishna asking, can one should try to earn more money? Sri Ramakrishna gave the permission. Yes, why not? But with proper method. Not by stealing or anything, but proper method. If you can earn, it's good. Then he said, with that money, you can help many other people. Master Mahashaya used to work in 3 different schools. And that means you can understand, when someone is going and giving the class, it's so tiring. And in different schools and different classes, he used to go whole day and then earning little money. From the first school, whatever he used to get, the salary, he used to give it to Ma Sharadamani Devi for her maintenance. Because Sharadamani Devi was having also so many other ladies. So she needed some money to maintain that. A second school, whatever the salary, that he used to give to the direct disciples of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. By that time, Sri Ramakrishna passed away, and these young boys, they were in great difficulty. People were not believing them. So like this, Master Mahashaya quietly used to help them. third school, whatever the salary he used to get, he used to spend it for his own family and his children. So that is the great thing. See, because of this great mental attitude, this Master Moshe has also become immortal along with Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. As long as the people will be knowing Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, will be knowing Ma Sharadamani Devi, Swami Vivekananda and others, Master Moshe will be remembered. And not only that, after him, his family, his grandchildren, grandsons, they are also great people, very broad-minded people. They have given that house where Master Moshe used to live, donated to Ramakrishna Mission, so that people can come, people are interested to know these householder devotees. They know all the monks, the sannyasi devotees of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. But what about the householder devotees? So gave that house to Ramakrishna Mission, very humble house. But there he used to meditate, he used to write, and this wonderful book that he wrote for us and for the posterity, for the eternity, people will be reading and knowing about the spirituality. Sri Ramakrishna knew that he was a great person, and here he is indicating these two completely different attitudes. One attitude completely as a dualist and servant attitude. At the same time, he is a jnani. It's very difficult to combine these two attitudes. The Mahavir, Hanumanji, the Ramachandra's devotee, he was having this attitude. The Sri Ramakrishna, let me give you an illustration, and then he is telling like this, that a person who is going on the holding the thorns and he is bleeding and he is trying to say nothing has happened to me, that is not the jnana. The many people, they can bear the pains of the body. So they will be beating their own body and they lying on the nails and like that. So many people can do that type of things. Though difficult, of course, but through practices, people they learn. But that is not the attitude of the jnani. That is not the attitude of the devotee. Love for God and attitude to serve Him so that the God becomes happy, comfortable. So that is one attitude. I am that God. Completely different, but combine these two must be a very great person. Now, Master Moshe is writing the account of the Sunday, February 22nd, 1885. The God's birthday, I have given the title, celebration of the God's birthday. Can God take birth? The whoever is taking birth means he is going to die. That means any avatara, they are the power of God, the supreme God, the Ramachandra or the Krishna, they are taking that, the human form, as if taking the human form. The Shankaracharya is mentioning in his Gita this explanation. He is telling eva, as if, not that truly, not that really, but as if he took that human form and appeared before us as a human. So when he is in that human form, as because he is not having any karma phala, so obviously he is not like us. We are bound to take birth. So who is going to finish the karma phala, the result of our action, whatever good and bad that we have done? Because I have to bear it. I have to suffer. I have to enjoy. But God has nothing like that. He is not having any karma phala. Then why he will born? The avatara is avataran. Out of his own will, he is manifesting himself. But take the help of a man and a woman, as if any other human being they are born. In the life of Jesus also we find this type of the words that sometimes some people are confused how it is possible. The Virgin Mary, conception of the Virgin Mary, but she gave the birth of the Jesus. The people will be wondering, some the non-believers, they will be doubting about that. God's birth is like that because He is all-powerful. He can create Him like that, but He takes the help of a man and a woman, and as if they are His parents, they hear the Ramachandra, the Krishna, our Lord Jesus, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, by that way. So they are not born. The born means the beginning of that, and they are not going to die. But still, we love to celebrate the birthday. The birthday, that means on that particular day, He manifested in that particular form. So Krishna Janma, the Janmashtami, and that will be celebrated by the Hindus, the followers of the Krishna, all decoration, all that. So who is being helped by that? We, the devotees. We are remembering God. We are purchasing different things to present to God. We are meditating. We are singing the bhajans. We are discussing about that. By that way, our mind is purified. Here, Sri Ramakrishna, the God Himself, in the form of a human being, as Sri Ramakrishna. So today, their devotees, they have gathered to celebrate. The Sunday, February 22nd, but the birthday was the one day before. That they are telling, Sri Ramakrishna was sitting on the northeast veranda outside his room at Dakshineshwar. It was about 8 o'clock in the morning. Many were present. They were celebrating the Master's birthday, which had fallen on the previous Monday. M arrived and saluted him. The Master signed to him to take a seat near him. Narottam was singing. Narottam was a very good singer. He was singing Kirtan. Sri Ramakrishna was in partial ecstasy. The ecstasy means the slowly the mind is merging with that words of the song, that song. When they are describing, the song means some description, some words that they are expressing through the music and melody. So that Sri Ramakrishna is following and slowly merging with that, and he is going into ecstasy, forgetting the present. The subject was Krishna's meeting with his cowherd friends in the meadow. Krishna had not yet arrived. The cowherd boys were restless for him. One of them said the mother Yashoda was preventing Krishna from coming. Then Balai said he is in a determined voice that he would bring Krishna with the sound of his horn, and Balai's love for Krishna knew no bound. The music went on. The cowherd boys and girls heard Krishna's flute and were filled with spiritual emotion. So when I don't know whether how many of you have heard this kirtan. They will be describing also. They will be singing. In between the song, they will be describing what is happening. It's just like a storytelling. And those who can understand that will be deported almost in the mentally to that particular time of Krishna. And you can visualize when you are closing your eyes and listening to that kirtan, and if that singer is a wonderful, not one, there will be group. They will be singing, and sometimes they are talking, and as if like this, the Balai is telling that I will blow this horn, and immediately Krishna will come, because he knew that I will be waiting here, etc., etc. So that is the way situation is. Each and everyone is eagerly waiting for the Lord Krishna to come. And someone, as the friends always do, they were thinking that the mother Yashoda is not allowing Krishna to come in the meadow to play. So this is the situation. And for the devotee of Lord Krishna is a great event. So they will be transported to that particular time and enjoy. Sri Ramakrishna's mind also, he liked that song, and suddenly Sri Ramakrishna's eyes fell on Narendra. Narendra means afterwards Swami Vivekananda, who was sitting very near him. He stood up and went into samadhi. He stood there touching Narendra's knee with his foot. Regaining consciousness, he took his seat again. Narendra left the room. The music went on. Sri Ramakrishna whispered to Baburam, "There is a kheer in the room. Give Narendra some." The special attention for the Narendra. Why? Because Narendra was not an ordinary soul. He was also the Shiva in that human form. Sri Ramakrishna knew that. So sometimes he used to go, and sometimes, when the physical body, there may be some other thoughts, the God is blessing in that way. He went and touched him with his holy feet. And Narendra, he could bear that. It's not that everyone can do that. Narendra could bear it without showing any external changes. Only after that, when the Lord went and sat, Narendra also went out, because that was really a very, very, that experience of the touch of God. So he wanted to enjoy it all alone. He went out. Sri Ramakrishna is asking Baburam to feed him with some kheer. Here we understand the love for Narendra. Did Master see Narendra as the embodiment of God? Master Mashay, he is the writer, he is observing every movement of Sri Ramakrishna. He is listening the song, he is observing who is doing what at the same time. It is a graphic description, as if the movie, those who can really imagine, they can imagine and can go to that particular time when all these things are happening. That's why Master Mashay, Swami Vivekananda was elated when he read this. He told, "You are excellent." Everything he gave, the description, and because Narendra was there. But the Master Mashay is writing this, and when that young Narendra became famous Vivekananda, and when he read, Master Mashay by that time published this, it's writing in a book, and Vivekananda read that, he himself could feel, yes, this happened. So that is the way Master Mashay description, so graphic, so clear. So this is the uniqueness of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Did the Master see Narendra as the embodiment of God? After the Kirtan, Sri Ramakrishna returned to his room. Tenderly, he began to feed Narendra with sweets. It was Girish's belief that God himself had been born in the person of Sri Ramakrishna. When the others, they were doubting, they were thinking that he is a great soul, no doubt, but God, no, it cannot be. The God means he must be having some miraculous power, and Sri Ramakrishna never showed anything like that. The one gentleman came here and he was telling this, why you were worshipping Sri Ramakrishna? He was a great sage, no doubt, but not God. I asked him, what is your idea about God? How do you think the God should behave? Like the Krishna. The Krishna lifted the whole hill in a finger. So like that, the superhuman power, special power should be manifest. then only we can accept that person as a God. I told, see, nowadays the huge crane, the powerful machine can lift the whole hill. Can we worship that machine as God? Just that, if that is the yardstick, that God, if to become God one has to lift the hill, then this is dangerous. Machine will be doing that nowadays. It is not that. The God is love. For Krishna it was necessary. We have to understand that. So Ramachandra didn't show any miraculous power because it was not necessary. He came for different purpose. He wanted to give the shape of the human society. And the Krishna came. By that time, the people, they were in two minds. Can God come down from the heaven on the earth? Many, they were not ready to believe. At the time of Sri Ramachandra never wanted to tell these that I am God. When the rishis, from their pure the sight, they could understand the Sri Rama is that same supreme God, Rama asked them not to disclose it. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna also mentioned that. Even he asked the Hanumanji not to disclose that, because Hanumanji was a great the yogi. He could see that in Rama that supreme power, that supreme Lord. But Rama was behaving just an ordinary person to give a shape to the human society. Krishna came, and it was necessary for him to show this miraculous power to develop the faith God can be in the human form. So there is a wonderful discussion, the how the God slowly coming down for our benefit. And then it is Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Now time has changed. People, idea was very clear. Many people are educated. Not only at the time of Sri Ramakrishna, that the 18th, 19th century. Now the present day, slowly people are understanding this. It is man within the man, that Atman is there. So that is the main purpose. The Sri Ramakrishna's manifestation was completely different. It was not necessary for him to show the miraculous power, though he has done it. A very ordinary person, very, very ordinary. He was a servant. He became the Brahmagyani just by the grace of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. There are so many examples are there. This Sri Ramakrishna, Girish understood, and he declared at that time, Sri Ramakrishna is God. The many people used to debate with Girish, and Girish was very powerfully he used to say, Sri Ramakrishna didn't say yes or no. And many of you know, the Sri Ramakrishna himself asked this question to Girish. On the 1st January 1886, the year that he passed away, and there he asked Girish, you go and tell people that I am God. What have you seen? Why you say like that? Then the Girish told, how can I explain it? In the Ramayana, in the Mahabharata, those great sages could not explain that about God. They only felt. The same thing here. I am an ordinary Girish. I feel that you are God, but I cannot explain it. Sri Ramakrishna went into ecstasy, you know that. And whoever came and touched him, immediately, whatever the prayer they had, the wishes they had, that was fulfilled. So Sri Ramakrishna is God. Girish was announcing, here Girish is telling, it was Girish believed that God himself had been born in the person of Sri Ramakrishna. Girish to Master, your ways are like Krishna's. He too pretended many things to his mother Yashoda. Sri Ramakrishna, not giving much importance into that, he is telling true. It was because Krishna was an incarnation of God. When God is born as man, he acts that way. You see, Krishna easily lifted the hill of Govardhan with his hand, but he made Nanda believe that he found it very hard to carry a foot tool. That is the way, as a child, he is showing his father that I cannot carry this foot tool, and the father had to come and lift. I am a child, how can I carry? But the same person lifted so that is the God's way they do, the avatara they do. Sri Ramakrishna is accepting the Krishna's activity and because of his avatara, his God. Girish, yes sir, I have understood you now. Sri Ramakrishna was sitting on the small couch. It was about 11 o'clock. Rama and other devotees wanted to dress him in a new cloth. And there is a birthday celebration. The master said, no, no, pointing to an English educated man. Who is this English educated man? Our Master Mashai. So now Krishna is to mention him in this way. A devotee, master, English educated man. So he used to mention him in all this way. He said what he says about it. At the earnest request of the devotees, he said, well, since you insist, I shall have to agree. So they were dressing him. Why Master Mashai? Because Master Mashai had doubt. Can God be in human form? As a human, the ordinary way the person is behaving, sometimes he is good, sometimes he is angry, sometimes he is talking with people in a completely different way, different subject. Sri Ramakrishna used to do like that all the time. So he used to think, is he God truly? So naturally, why Master Mashai? We will also won't be able to believe a person before us, like Sri Ramakrishna, than thinking that he is God. We don't know God. The Girish had that faith and understanding, very clear understanding. So he never deviated from his own point. Ram Babu was also, Ram Datta, he also used to say this Ramakrishna is a God himself because of their great faith. Master Mashai was in two minds. He used to try to understand things after analyzing, as because he had the attitude of the Jnani. This is natural, it's normal. Even when Swami Vivekananda came and he introduced the service as worship, it is Master Mashai. He said, no, Sri Ramakrishna never said like that. And he was not agreeing with the Narendra, though he had a great respect for Narendra, Vivekananda. It was only Mother, Ma Sharadamani Devi, when she said, whatever the Narendra is doing, it is Sri Ramakrishna's work. Then Master Mashai told, okay, now no doubt. So by that way, the Master Mashai, so when they wanted to dress him like that and worship like that, Sri Ramakrishna pointed to him and said, this English educated person, why? Doubtful people. So why English educated? Because in the old fashion, they will be having the Guru and the worshipping the feet of Guru and then offering food and all those things. Then this type of modern education, they will think, oh, that is useless. Why a man should be worshipped like that? And this is the Sri Ramakrishna saying. The devotees were arranging the master's meal in the room, and he asked Narendra to sing. Narendra sang, in dense darkness, O Mother, thy formless beauty sparkles. It's a beautiful song about the Ma Kali. Sri Ramakrishna was the goddess Kali himself. The goddess Kali, the concept of goddess Kali, is nothing but the knowledge and action together. Parabrahma Parashakti, Jagata Rupa Ramakrishna. So this is the concept. What is Parabrahma? The full knowledge. Parashakti, when that knowledge is now transforming into action, acting. That is the Parashakti. It is not the man and woman, a Shiva or the Kali, not like that. It is that particular aspect of God. He knows everything but not functioning. So we call him Shiva. When that Shiva starts functioning, we call Kali. So Sri Ramakrishna is the Kali. So naturally, when Narendra is singing, and when particular the one sentence when you were singing, who art thou, mother, seated alone in the shrine of Samadhi? Samadhi means where there is nothing. This Nirvikalpa Samadhi. In the Yoga Sutra they say there are two types of Samadhi mainly. One is Swavikalpa, another is Nirvikalpa. Nirvikalpa means without taking the help of anything, just merging into that consciousness. So that is, who art thou? Sri Ramakrishna went into deep Samadhi and lost all outer consciousness. Immediately after that, they are mentioning about this extreme point that Sri Ramakrishna is merging into that. His physical form is standing. People can see that particular form. But inside that mind is merging into that consciousness. It is really, really very rare to see. So that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is unique. Much afterwards, Swami Vivekananda, after constantly trying to understand, analyzing and examining, afterwards he said, I never saw anything which is really real, original in anyone in this world except Sri Ramakrishna. So that is the Sri Ramakrishna. He is merging into that. Who is Sri Ramakrishna then? Ma Kali. Those who have read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, you know, and there's the incident of that happened in the Shampukur Bhati. So this way also Sri Ramakrishna showed that Sri Ramakrishna is Kali. So sometimes some people they come and ask, why don't you keep a picture of goddess Kali? Because the Sri Ramakrishna worshipped Kali, that you should also worship Kali. We say, yeah, we are worshipping Kali. We are worshipping Kali in the form of Sri Ramakrishna. It is difficult to understand. We only take that particular the murti, that form, that picture. Then we think this is Kali. Kali should have 4 hands. Kali should have the mundamala, the skulls, the garland. They're not like that. It is the aspect that we have to understand. Shiva and Shakti. The ones, Mathurnath Bishwas, who used to support Sri Ramakrishna, that Jamindar, landlord, he was sitting in his own the building, and there was a little space, and then Sri Ramakrishna was walking on that open space, the veranda, up and down. Mathur Babu was thinking, oh, I am supporting this man. He looks so ordinary, but I spend so much money for him and pay so much of respect. Is it truly really as a highly spiritual person? Now Mathur Babu's luck, Sri Ramakrishna is to like him. Mathur Babu suddenly saw that. Afterwards he himself declared that when Sri Ramakrishna is walking down, he was like a Shiva. Shiva is walking. Again, when he is going opposite, it is the goddess Kali in the same person. Mathur Babu jumped from his chair and ran across that open space and fell on his knee. Baba, please forgive me. I doubted. The Sri Ramakrishna is unique. And we are celebrating the birthday of that God who is eternal, who has no birth, no death. Then whom we are actually worshipping and celebrating the birthday? His human form, it is Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Friends, that we will read from here in our next class. I think there are some questions are there. Let us answer, but read little loudly.
So the first question is from Ekta Chakraborty. She is asking, how can we remember God when we are busy doing things like working or reading?
Was a good question, Ekta. And our great that Swami, the first president of the order, that our Swami Brahmananda ji, he has given the wonderful prescription about that. He said, when you go to office, carry a small picture of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Then, before starting the work, just take out that picture from your wallet and then look at it, start your work. In between, when you are taking a little break, take out that once again and look at it, and then take the rest or coffee, etc. After finishing your work, when you are returning to your home, take out that picture and say, God, you have given me this job, I have done it today, I offer it at your feet, please be with me, and that will do. Thank you.
The next question is from Devashish. He is asking, often there are people who pray to God, take mantra, continue to behave in a very similar way, being harsh, jealous towards others. Why they are not creating wholesome attitude like Master Mahasaya?
That is very, very difficult. Though they have taken the initiation. Now, after taking the initiation and after following the instructions of the Guru, and you are very correct, a change should come, must come. Otherwise, there is some mistake in practice. And what are the changes? All good qualities. So, obviously, when they are very jealous, maybe the intensity that has come down, feeling jealous, but little, that's a great help. That's the great advancement, we can say. But you are very correct. We should always remember that taking the initiation and repeating the name of God, that should be proved in our character, in our thoughts, in our behavior, day-to-day behavior. Each and every one should try to imbibe the good qualities, then only the blessings of God will come. Thank you.
The next question is from Geeta Basu. She is asking, how was Sri Ramakrishna enlightened?
Oh, Gita Di, I don't know what is this question. He was God himself. So, enlightenment, it is from him only it comes. And enlightenment means that we are all gods. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna told as to his near and dear, the circle, those who really understood, those whose mind became purified. And I always say again and again, if you are following my class, you must have heard, the purification of the mind means giving up the thoughts of the worldly things. So, those who are thinking too much of the worldly things, the name, fame, money, property, the physical comfort, well, it will take some time for them to understand. Not that they won't be able to, but it will take some time for them. And when that is not there, those people, they see the image of God, they can feel the presence of God. And Sri Ramakrishna is the God himself. And this is called enlightenment. He was that light.
Vishwarup Ghosh, he has a comment. He's saying, oh, what a splendid way you can express the time and feeling. Are you a member of the God at the time of Sri Ramakrishna? He's asking you.
I wish I was there, but I don't know. So, thank you for the compliment, but I wish I was there. But one thing is sure, one thing is very sure, and again, as because Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, if anyone in his lifetime once sincerely prayed to God, will come to Sri Ramakrishna's ideology, Sri Ramakrishna's philosophy. Sincerely once, I surely must have done once in my life. So please pray for me and may God bless me. So that this is the life, and now it is almost complete, a little few more years maybe. So we must go back, I must go back to the source which is known as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Thank you.
The next question is from Devjani Dhar. She's saying, is it possible to place the frame of Lord Shiva, Mata Lakshmi, and Lord Krishna along with Thakur Ma Swamiji?
Oh yeah, why not? Sure. So see that the images of the Lord Shiva and the Lakshmi, that is imaginative, we do not know. But what is godly quality? What is Shiva? That is love for the humanity, sacrifice, isn't it? When they were churning the ocean and the poison came out, who is the God who saved us? Shiva. Who is this Shiva? Never care for the name or fame or the beauty or anything. Always merged in that ultimate knowledge. But when necessary, immediately coming for help. That Nilakantha, the name that he got, so that is the Shiva. Not that particular form, that is an imagination. Whether he was that muscular or not, some people will make the very muscular Shiva. Whether he was having a snake hanging from his neck or not, we don't know, we are just imagining. The Lakshmi the same way. What is the Lakshmi? Those who are really good. And that she is bestowing the wealth. And what is that wealth? Containment. Wealth doesn't mean all the time the money and all that. It is necessary to survive. But contentment is the main thing. I am sufficiently, oh God, you have given me so much and I am very happy. So that is called the wealth. The same way. And we find that all these qualities in Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharada and Swami Vivekananda. Why should we not call them God? Why can't we also place them by the side of Shiva, Ma Lakshmi? Thank you, friends. Let us chant this mantra and we conclude. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.